Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning again and again. As you know, my name is Luciano Santini, and I will be the facilitator for this seminar here. And I am not a consultant, a doctor, a psychologist, or anything like that. I'm a life coach, and what I do is I teach people how to look at things from a different perspective. That's basically what I do. I teach techniques on stress levels, things like that, how to have a good life balance, things like that, how to deal with situations that you may have with your children or with each other. So what I want to talk about today is, first I want to start with this. Think of yourself in a farm right now, okay? And you have your mom and dad, but you also have another 16 brothers and sisters. Think of a family of 17 brothers and sisters plus your mom and dad. That's a pretty big family, right? So imagine how that is parenting a family of 17. You think you could handle 17 kids, parenting 17 kids? No? I grew up in that family. I have 17 brothers and sisters. So I can talk to you about this from an experience, real life experience. I'm not going to talk to you just theory and let you know, well, this is how it should work. I'm going to tell you how it does work, how it really does work. Okay? Some of the obstacles that parents go through, some challenges, just getting the kids to bed. Is that a challenge sometimes?
Yes.
It is, right? I go through this every day. I have 3 boys. So getting kids to bed on time, building is self-esteem. Now, one of the things that I learned is that they always want to watch TV. They never want to go to bed. So what I realized is that they were staying up till about 10 o'clock at night, and I thought that was okay. Until my wife returned back to work, and now I have to get up in the morning and get them ready for school. Now that became a challenge for me. Because I thought it was, I never thought about it. It's like, well, she does it, it's no big deal. Well, now I'm the one dealing with this. So what I started doing is that, okay, they're having a hard time going to bed because they're not watching TV. So what I did is I actually started making them take their showers and getting ready at 7:30. They want to watch TV, I let them watch TV while they're laying in bed. Now they're going to bed, they were out by 8:30. Now they're getting their sleep. Now they're waking up in the morning. Now as difficult as that may sound, it was pretty easy. But it's how you look at the situation. Sometimes we look at it like, well, you need to go to bed, you need to go to sleep, but tomorrow morning you're not going to want to wake up. But the thing is how you look at it. It's all about perspective. So when you look at it, change the situation. Talk to them. Say, okay, you want to watch TV? Okay, you can watch TV. But let's compromise. They will compromise with you because they're going to get what they want. Now, do they always get what they want? No. Do we always get what we want?
No.
That's why we compromise, right? So, could this be one of the issues for children? Now, I want you to go over this and really think about what I'm going to talk about this here because it's really, really important. A child from a low-income family is read to 25 hours before entering kindergarten. I want you to really think about this because it's going to make a lot of sense. Is this true? Could this be one of the issues that we are dealing with our children? A child from a middle-income family is read 1,700 hours before kindergarten. Look at the difference. 25 hours to 1,700 hours. Think about that. Is that an issue? Of course it is. That is a big issue. What does this mean? Well, it means a lot of things. But the objective here is to figure out what happens when parents are involved with their children. What happens when you really get involved with your children? They get better grades. Okay? They get better grades. They have a better attitude. And we're going to talk about each one of them here in a second. They enjoy doing their homework. Come on, how many of your kids come home and they're just dying to do their homework? They don't. They don't. It's a challenge, right? It's a challenge to get them to do their homework. They are most likely to complete high school and go on to college. Do your kids look like that in front of the computer doing their homework? Neither do mine. But see, when you get involved with children, they get better grades. Why is that? Anybody raise your hand, just tell me, why would your kid be getting better grades? Anybody? Right? And you care.
Well, they know you care and they want to do better because you're involved. It's a process of camp.
Every child, let me tell you, every child who comes into this world, not a bad kid. They're all beautiful, wonderful kids. It's when they start growing up and they start getting involved. But if you are involved with your children, they will get better grades because they know that you are there to support them. They will know that you're there to support them. They have a better attitude not only towards their school, their grades, their friends, but towards you as parents. Again, because they know that you care. One of the biggest things that I find now when I do couples coaching, couples life coaching, and I ask the parents, what is your biggest obstacle? And guess what they tell me? Spending time with my children. Because they both work and this and that. And I have to tell you that when they tell me that, I have a problem with that. I really do. Because I understand working 2 jobs. I understand the travel. When we have to travel, okay, I totally understand that. But here's the thing. I go back to my parents. Okay, 17 children. That's a lot of kids. And I can tell you from experience how my dad spent time with us. He would work 12, 13 hours every day. He would come home. Prior to that, he would talk to my mother. I'm assuming that he talked. he would tell her, okay, from when I get home from 6:30 to 7:30 or 8 o'clock, make sure that all the kids have been fed. Because that is my time slot for me and my boys, or me and the kids. Every day was like that. And I actually learned that from my father. And I actually teach those techniques now. I call it the hourglass epiphany. And what I do is I break it down, literally, down to the seconds. So when people tell me they don't have time with their kids, I have a problem with it. I have a problem with that because it's a choice. It's a choice that you as a parent is going to make whether you want to spend time with your children or not. Believe me, that your kids, if you constantly work with them and help them with their homework, what ends up happening is that it becomes a habit. And what's the old saying? After 21 times of doing it, it becomes a habit. And trust me, it does work. Do something with a child or with another person 21 times constantly. You have to be constant. You always have to do it at the same time, same place. Believe me, it becomes a habit. It really does. If you want some simple to try out, buy them a PlayStation. Tell them to play every day at 3:30. And watch how constant that becomes.
Yeah.
They will not miss a day. Right? They are most likely to complete high school and go on to college. Why? Because they have that support system. They grow up with that support system. When that support system is broken as a child, they grow up thinking that, number one, at the beginning, they're okay with it, but as they get older, they tend to learn that, oh, well, you know, my parents really don't care whether I go to high school, finish high school, or go on to college. They will think that, and they will come up with those ideas and things in their mind, and that's not a good thing. Research has shown that when parents are involved, the support given is by far more important to the child's success than their IQs or economic status. Now really, really think about this. Remember what we were talking earlier today about the 25 hours for a low-income family? Think about what I'm going to tell you right now. It doesn't matter how wealthy you are, or how middle class you are, or how poor you are. It does not matter to the child because the child doesn't know this. The children do not know whether you're rich or poor. They don't know this. They only know this until they begin to learn, until you begin to teach it, until you begin to tell your child, oh, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. Then they start getting in their minds, oh, well, why even try? Why even go to my mom and ask her for this because I know she can't afford it? Now, think about this. We all have fears. Do we not all have fears? We all have fears about something. But here's the thing, is that a child, how many times does your kid come up to you and ask you for anything? They ask you for something. What is it? They're not afraid, are they? They're not afraid to ask you for whatever it is that they want. But here's the thing. They become afraid the second you tell them, I can't afford that. We can't do this for you. as they get older, they start thinking the same way. They start thinking, well, I can't afford